YBS. Look in the mirror. Think about it. Thoughts of a scholar. Yeah. We out here looking for a better way. Come on. I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make a living. I gotta get off my feet if I wanna make a living. I gotta get off my feet to make y'all see my vision. I'm standing all on my feet, it's time to make a listen. I hear the voices whisper, and when they speak, I hear them preach on the thing that we need to keep us from being victims. Not a thing the victim, read the most looking and they quicker than the next. Trying to get rich, man, I'm just trying to get free. Bang on the system, not raping our sisters, forcing our brothers to hustle. Pitching drugs for the love of the dough. They got us gunning for O's, killing each other, but we love it though. Some of us act real bad when the Mac is on us. Jack don't call us, let me rip my flag to the hardest, but when the deputies pass, they playing that ass on us. I don't mess. I'm straight in the path, all here. We out here, looking for a better way.
Shout out YBS TV, man. It's been a while. We back. New stuff. You see what it is, man. It's the newsroom. It's virtual, but I mean, we in a virtual world now. I mean, right? COVID brought a whole lot of new stuff. So virtual in the studio. BronxNet then kicked us out of Lehman College. I ain't been back in almost 2 years, man. I miss it over there in the studio. And I hope y'all miss me, man. But I'm back. YBS, it's your boy, Aries the Voice. And welcome back to YBS TV from our Young Black Scholars, where YBS is the question and YBS is the answer, just in case y'all forgot. And in case you're wondering why I got this Vietnam veteran hat on, gotta say rest in peace to one of the greatest dudes ever in this world that God has produced, my pops. You know what I'm saying? He's a Vietnam veteran. You know what I'm saying? And how beauty it could go. He died the day before Memorial Day. So we was able to have Memorial Day to celebrate the life and celebration of my dad. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all the Vietnam veterans. Shout out to all the veterans, especially the ones in the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fi, Hoorah. I can say that because I did my time on Paris Island, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I got a couple of topics for y'all, man. We're going to get into it. If y'all see me glitching a little bit because of the green screen, I'm trying to perfect it. Trying. It's going to get better, but work with me, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. If y'all seen on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or pretty much anywhere on social media, you've noticed that they have this thing that's going viral with this woman who they call it the McDonald's baby mama. And I hate to start off like this because there's so many things going on in the world, but I don't want to just start off with just negativity. Like I said, today is about having fun and reaching back with my audience. And one thing that we was talking about, like I said, is some fun. And this baby mama, McDonald's mama, baby daddy, all that stuff, whatever it is, man, I'm about to get to it. And maybe y'all can maybe hit me up in the Gmail. Let me know what y'all think. ariesthevoice@gmail.com. ARESDAVOICE, just in case y'all forgot. And we're about to get ready to get into it because I want to know what y'all think. And actually, I got my wife here too. So I actually want to know what she thinks about this from a woman's perspective, because she's a woman, I'm a guy, and this has to do with male and females. And actually, not only that, y'all can tune into the YouTube and check YBS World Media, where me and my wife are going to start having discussions, based on men and women perspectives, whose side of the bed is it? I'm just saying. I don't know, but y'all can tune in to YBS World Media or YouTube. But until then, we about to get into this baby mama thing, and let's see what this is about.
Look, y'all. Every day, my baby daddy come here with one meal for my child, but I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like, that's bogus as hell. Like, you're not gonna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there you go. And I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm gonna expose him so people see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. Because that don't look enough for all my kids.
That don't look enough for
That
all my
don't look
kids.
enough for all my kids.
Learn
What is that?
English.
That's just one burger, one fry. Okay, what about my other kids? What about your other kids? Okay, but them your kids' siblings though. Kids' siblings though. You know. Just coming like other kids, his siblings.
It's real.
Them are his siblings though.
It's real.
He's not gonna eat it.
First of all, she complaining about the wrong
They're not eating on McDonald's. No. Why do I gotta put? No. He's not gonna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody. Yes. How is that dumb? You sound dumb.
Nobody told you talk to mother. You have them other kids. They're your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's? You know I get food stamps on the 11th. Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me. Yes, you did. Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids. Because I'm exposed. Everybody think you're such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not. You're foolish.
Damn, I should do this and go into Roe versus Wade after this.
He's a fool for one child. No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had one or two, I'll be like, no, maybe. It's three extra kids. Well, like, go to mama, spend money on all those kids. They're not my kids.
Them are your kids' siblings, though.
So that's what you gonna go with? That's the one you gonna
Those are your kids' siblings.
Yeah.
So don't. No, I didn't say you have to take care of them. You can bring them something to eat if you bring one something to eat.
I bring them food every other day. What do you mean?
Exactly, but you don't never bring food for the other one. You know I get my food stamps on the 11th. Okay.
This is already ugly.
We share the same kids as well.
You know I get my food stamps. How the fuck he would know?
I'm not taking my kids.
How the hell he would know?
I can blur that out so it's good.
No. You know what? Fine. Give it here. Give it here.
How he gonna know when you get your food stamps?
He's eating this
Oh wow.
because you ain't bringing up for all the other kids. You stupid. Selfish is like you're dumb as hell. He's not gonna eat that. Dumb. He's not gonna do that. If you can't do it for all, don't do it for none of them. But I'm stupid.
Wow. I mean, okay. As a matter of fact, baby, woman's perspective. Cause men, when we speak for women, we get crucified. So, I mean, or like the cross goes a little bit more up like this. There's a crucifix. So, baby, what do you think? My wife is too beautiful for y'all to see. What you think, baby?
No, honestly, it was first. I'm thinking that can't be real. You know, I get my food stamps on 11th. Okay, I feel like that was just. I don't want to believe that's even real. But let me go in to say that's real, just for the sake of the argument, right? He brings his son McDonald's every day, and she's mad basically because he's not bringing food for the other kid.
For the 3 kids.
Okay.
I know the numbers shouldn't matter.
But
I'm
no,
just...
for the other 3 kids. Okay, for the other kids. It was wrong all around. You know I think it's wrong. It was horrible. For the simple fact, for me, the argument even shouldn't even be like, he's bringing your son McDonald's every day. First of all, that's not even healthy. I'm sorry. That's not even healthy. He's bringing your son McDonald's every day, and that's what you complain about, that he's eating McDonald's every day. First of all, he shouldn't be eating McDonald's every day. And then you can't force another man to take care of your kids. Those are your kids. That's nice. If he was able to and he wants to, that's nice. You know, that's very nice. But he doesn't have to. He's not forced to take care of your kids. You shouldn't have to be forced to take care of your kids.
No,
now, if he was in their lives, now the thing is, if he was in their lives and he was doing things before, now all of a sudden, since they broke up and he don't want to do things for the other kids, now that's kind of touchy. That's, you know what I'm saying? Because then the kids, you gotta think about the kids. It's not now. It's not about the mom and the dad or the mom and the man. You gotta think about the kids. So in that case, maybe when you do things with your son, maybe try not to do certain things in front of the other kids if you don't have the money to provide for the other kids. But if you was like a father figure and they the only father that you know, then in a way, honestly, that is messed up.
And this is
because
why
the kids come. It's really about the kids.
Now, as a man, this is why it's touchy for me.
That's the only touchy
to me,
part.
It's always going to be about the kids, no matter what, because it's never going to be the kids' fault. But unfortunately, it can't always be the man's fault either. I mean, for her to say that you knew what you got into when you met me, that's actually a testament to the character of the man that he was to her in the beginning, in my eyes, in my perspective. Because if he took on a woman who had 3 kids, that means that he still chose to want to do better for her. He wanted her to do better for himself, more than likely. And apparently, whatever happened between them two didn't work. Now, unfortunately, a child came out of that. Fortunately and unfortunately, I don't ever want to say unfortunately for a child, but in their situation, because they're not together, I'm going to say unfortunately, because had the child not been born, in my eyes, now if they didn't work out, they could just go separate ways. And at the same time, now if that did happen and he didn't have a child with her, what would she still be doing to feed them kids? Because I'm
sure she'll find a way.
Who knows? Like she said, she don't get her food until 11, and them other 3 kids still ain't eat.
I'm sure she'll find a way.
I understand what you're saying. I'm sure she finds a way.
She's a woman,
but
and she's a mother.
But my thing is,
your kids come first.
But if that's the case,
you're gonna find a way to feed your kids.
Okay, but if that's the case, and this is my point as a man, if that's the case, he's finding a way to feed his kid. Why hasn't she found a way already to feed her other 3 kids?
In that video, I would want to assume she hasn't found a way to feed her kids because he possibly, when he was around, made it comfortable for her, to make her think that maybe certain things she don't have to do. Now, is that his fault? Oh no, that's definitely her fault. She's slacking and that's all I'm saying. She's slacking. And so it's like, okay, if that's the case, then you know that once he's gone, she has to find a way. So once she's gone, you know what she went from depending on him to and unfortunately, women got to stop this, because for one, the government done put y'all against the black man anyway. So y'all have to stop doing this. I'm gonna look right into the camera. So she went from depending on the black man to now when that black man didn't work, now she's depending on the system. And now because she didn't have the money from the her other daddy, the system, I mean, the government system, her February 11th food stamps or whatever date she put. Yeah, she's waiting for the February 11th food stamps from one daddy. And so the other daddy's taking care of his child. Like, listen, this is mine. I'm going to take care of mine. Mine is not going to have to wait until your other daddy feed the rest of your kids. But you making sure that your kids don't eat until you get food. And if that's the case, why don't you know how to ration your food stamps long enough to be able to last them from once? I understand it gets hard, but damn, obviously you're not budgeting that money right now. Obviously, she's not shopping at BJ's. You gotta get the big price. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna quickly go into the next topic, because I kind of really want to touch on this. Like, I really want to go into kind of Roe versus Wade after that, because to me that really does go into certain things dealing with men's rights and women's rights and the right to do with your body, but it really don't at the same time. So I don't really want to correlate those two together, because that woman she didn't give a good example of how women are, but she did. That was horrible. But she did give an example of how some women are. YBS, y'all already know some women are like that. YBS, and we're gonna talk the truth. So speaking of women, yeah, why be sloppy? Why be sloppy? You see, that's why I married her. I mean, speaking of women, or what we think are women, or what they classify as women, because I got to be careful. People who classify themselves as women, people who are born men and are now women. We have transgender, cisgender, non-binary. I don't understand this, so please do not crucify me for not understanding all the full terms. But
What I will say is that it was this transgendered woman, I believe.
Biological?
Yeah, sometimes I want to go back. There's a biologically born man who is now a woman who goes by the name Leah Thomas. And as a man, pretty much middle of the pack swimmer, and recently has come under fire because has definitely been dominant, has a string of domination within women's sports, women's swimming, to be exact. Some people have been saying that trans women should not be involved in women's sports because there is such an advantage based off the fact that a lot of them still hold some of the strength of being men and are still more physically superior than a biological woman, being that they're biologically men. Now transitioning into women or already transitioned into women. Sorry if I got anything wrong. Okay, sorry, I apologize. But Leah Thomas, and I just want to go into the case because I don't want to go by any kind of hearsay. If y'all know me, YBS EV, it's a question and answer, and we got to get to the answers of these questions. But before we go there, I got to see what some of these things that they're saying about Leah Thomas is. And so I went to an article from CNN. If you see a CNN, I'm not BSing you guys. This is from her own mouth. It's from CNN, very reputable source, guys. You go check it out, public knowledge. Leah Thomas says trans women are not a threat to women's sports in an interview with ABC on Tuesday. Thomas has recently become the face of a debate on transgender women in sports. In 2017, she arrived at the University of Pennsylvania, joined the men's swimming team, but during her first years in college, Thomas became increasingly depressed. Transitioning became a big cost, putting her career in question. Now, they say that she was transitioning while she was swimming as a man, so that's why some people say that she was middle of the pack as a man, because they're saying that she was taking hormones during those times, so maybe that might have been why she was a middle of the pack man. It's possible. I'm not going to rule that out. But regardless, she was a middle of the pack man as a swimmer. That's part of what kept me from transitioning for so long. The thing is, I wasn't sure if I could continue swimming and doing the sport that I love, Thomas said. Despite this, she began hormone replacement therapy, which for one, taking different hormones in sports is already illegal. But and in 2019, during her sophomore year, the mental and emotional changes actually happened very quickly, she said. I was feeling a lot better mentally. I was less depressed, and I lost a lot of muscle mass. I became a lot weaker, and So pretty much, she's basically trying to make the point that her body became weaker very quickly, and that pretty much allowed her to compete with women on the same level as women because now her body is weaker. But I also, because this is YBS TV, I had to make sure that I wasn't going to just go based off of what Leah Thomas said. I mean, we can't do that because that wouldn't be fair to women, biological women that actually are in this sport and have been dedicating their lives born as women to competing with other women born as women. And so what I did was I actually wanted to get a word from one of her teammates.
Leah obviously helps us do better, right?
Come on now, y'all not gonna do this to me. Y'all not gonna do this to me. Y'all not. Because I'm a good talker, and so I know how to talk through all of this stuff. Just in case they don't know that.
Helps the University of Pennsylvania swim team.
Yes, they are gonna try to do this to me. Bear with me. YBS. We're gonna have all this, man. We're gonna get it for y'all. Unless I gotta go small. If I gotta go small, then I'll let it happen like that.
Helps us do better. Right? Leah's swimming really fast. Leah's performance helps the University of Pennsylvania swim team. The feeling of winning doesn't feel as good anymore because it feels tainted. There was a lot of things we couldn't talk about that were very concerning, like a locker room situation. If you even brought up concerns about it, you're transphobic. If you even bring up the fact that Leah's swimming might not be fair, you were immediately shut down as being called a hateful person or transphobic.
There's never any conversation. The coaches don't
sit everyone down and acknowledge what everyone's really upset about. So Pat actually brought in people high up in the athletic department to talk to us. They brought in someone from the LGBTQ center. They brought in someone from the psychological services. So you're upset about what's happening, and so you need psychological help. Yeah, and they told us in this meeting, they said, look, we understand there's an array of emotions, but Leah's swimming is a non-negotiable. However, we can help you make that okay. That's what we're here for.
So now, if you understand what she's saying, she's pretty much saying that women didn't have any say in whether Leah Thomas participated or not. As a woman, baby, what do you feel on that?
I think that's wrong.
For what reason?
I don't think biological men should compete with biological women. I'm sorry, but not really. They should have their own league for their own thing. Like, they should just have their own league for their own thing. Not trying to rule them out. They should need to have their own thing. At the end of the day, no matter how hard you train as a woman, as a natural woman, you won't be able to beat this trans woman. Like, you probably won't. Let me say that. You probably won't be able to beat her. I
was going to say that because there are cases that this show. She has been beaten recently. A couple, I think, as early as March, came in place 8th amongst other women. But with that being said, there's another screenshot that I was going to go to that shows the dominance and the reason why a lot of people felt like it really wasn't fair for Leah Thomas to be participating, because as you see right here in this article, it says Thomas is the fastest swimmer in the country in her events. True or false? Headed into the NCAA championships, Thomas had the fastest times amongst all women in the NCAA in the 200 and the 500 free. And she was top 10 in the 100 free and the 1650 free. She has set national records. She has won a national championship in the 500 free. So pretty much, I mean, if you're telling me that's not being dominant in the NCAA championships amongst women in the sport who already have been dedicating their lives to it, and they were always born women, and you tell me that it's not an advantage that she's setting NCAA records and like pretty much had a reign of domination, it's hard for me to say that it's completely fair. And I do agree with my wife. As a biological woman, and I'm a biological man, that I don't want to rule anybody out, but I do believe that maybe if anything, they should have their own league. Not say their own league, their own division within the league. Because if there is hormones and being taken, and we don't understand the full complexity of how it might change from body to body and how it might weaken or strengthen, depending on whether you're trying to whether you're transitioning into a man or transitioning into a woman, there has to be a level playing field if what the conversation within the LGBT community is talking about is equality. If what they wish for is equality, we cannot ask for equality at the expense of someone else's equality. You understand? Like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. You can't say I want to be equal, but then make the playing field unequal just to make you feel equal, because now somebody else is feeling unequal, and then they're going to be screaming for the same equality that you were just fighting for, claiming that you weren't getting. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm not being.
That's completely wrong, though. How they basically said like it's non-negotiable. Like she's going to be part of this team. What can we do for you? Counseling.
Now the question is why? 9 times out of 10 is because there are people behind the scenes who are trying to pull strings in order to get certain agendas passed, and this is why YBS TV is here. We'll continue to be here, and I'm going to bring you the truth, because that is what we do here. It's question and answer, and we answer these damn questions. I'm not really sure how much long we've been going. I'm going to try to get into the Roe versus Wade really quickly, because I don't want to waste too much time on it, because we can go into this all day. I might have to do a whole show on it. But recently, Roe versus Wade has been overturned, and a lot of people are going up in arms and protesting in the streets about the women's rights to abortion, because of the fact that Roe versus Wade has been overturned. But however, some people don't necessarily know the case of Roe versus Wade. So there's a lot of complexities. Oh yeah, check out the Juneteenth shirt. And Juneteenth to me is better than just a holiday. It's my little man's birthday. So like, I mean, but the case is pretty much a case that a lot of people are very invested in because it deals with the women's rights to abortion. And so we're very emotionally invested on it. And being that it's been overturned, a lot of people are nervous because now they're overturning a lot of abortion rights. And personally, I feel like a woman has the right to choose. A woman has a right to choose. It is her body, and she does have the right to choose, and you should be able to take that right away. However, I also do agree with myself. I'm not gonna say I agree with nobody. I agree with myself in saying that I do believe that, in my opinion, that there should be some kind of, at least some kind of limitation put on the amount of abortions women get, because like some women really use it as a turnstile. And I know I'm not the only guy that think this. I know there's women that know this. So because we have women tell me this for a fact. I know women have done this, you know. So some women do use it as a turnstile and pretty much feel like they can just do whatever they want sexually and not necessarily be responsible. So, but at the same time, I do believe that women should have the right. I don't believe you should take away a right. And same way with COVID, I did not believe anybody should be forced to take a shot if you did not feel like putting something inside your body. I also do feel like if you don't want something inside your body and you want it removed, then you should also have the right to say whatever you wish when it's concerning your own body. I understand people are saying they're pro-life. You got people that don't that wonder when conception is, when the baby is actually born, when it's actually life. And I agree with all of that also. We don't really know. Truth of the fact of the matter is we don't really know. But this is the reason why I believe that there should be some kind of restrictions on it, because people shouldn't just be allowed to just
it should definitely be some type of middle ground. I agree. There should be a middle ground. It's a lot, because you know how I feel about this topic. It's so thick, and I try not to get too emotional, but I do. But yes, there needs to come to some middle ground somewhere. Everybody, we as a people and like the government, like we all need to something.
I mean, abortion is always going to be a harsh topic, because you're never going to find a group of people where everybody's going to agree on one thing, because it's such you're dealing with life, and you're dealing with, in terms, actually playing God in certain terms. And when it comes to those situations, what I would say is that, ladies and men, it always goes back to responsibility. We have to start being responsible.
Look in the mirror.
When you go back into the Bible,
think about it. Thoughts of a scholar. Yeah. Come on.